What's for Lunch? I'm your host, Larry Hers. Today, in studio, all the way from Rhino, I have James with Koko. Welcome.
Hello.
So this place, I'm going to do a little bit of talking. I'm going to do a little bit of bragging on you for a little while. I went there the first time I went in Zeppelin Station. Now they moved over to 24th?
26th.
26th between Blake and Walnut.
Market. Or Walnut, yeah, that's Walnut right there.
And it's like, it's not a restaurant. I think that's fair. It's a dining experience.
I like that.
She likes that. I eat out a lot. I don't know if you know that. Like, I go to a lot of restaurants. This is not a restaurant. So it's either 10 courses or 13 courses. Mm-hmm. But every detail, and you may not even see this, but the service was unbelievable. They're like ninjas. Like, as soon as you put something down you don't need, it's gone. But yet they're still sweet and friendly and like ninja service. And then, the food, of course, is unbelievable. 10 courses, stuff you'll never believe, that somebody could create. All right, I'll shut up now. Little history of you and Koko.
Yeah, so I'm James Ganizak. I've been in Denver for about 10 years. I grew up in Cleveland, Ohio. Been around the Denver food scene for, I got full-fledged, like right at Rioja, right when I moved here, and then dived in, jumped around to a couple of restaurants, then went to Mercantile for about 4 years. After that, it was pretty much pandemic, and met the owners of Fam Hospitality Group. That's when we kind of kicked off with Koko. I went to Johnson & Wales. That's what brought me out here to finish my bachelor's in hospitality.
Were you at the original when it opened, Koko at
Yes,
Zeppelin?
yeah. So I joined the crew beginning of 2021 before we opened Koko in Zeppelin Station. Yeah.
And how would you describe the concept to people who haven't been there?
Man, so it's an ever-changing, ever-evolving, we'll never stop pushing to like see what we can do there. It's it's a 10-course. We like to call it farm-driven omakase because my main focus is the farmers around Colorado, especially up in the North Boulder area. So like Christian Tui and Mark Raspini at Esoteric Culinary Garden. They're like two of my biggest inspirations, and pretty much the food we put out of there is just based off of like what's really, really in season, what's available, like what are they offering us, like what's special, because in Colorado we have such microclimates, right? So we have 2-3 weeks where things are available. We have such short growing season, so we have to work around all that, and I feel very fortunate to work with the people I do that offer so much on a regular basis. Even today I got a text from Mark at Esoteric that I forgot to place my produce order, but it's the middle of January, and we're still getting produce that's grown up in Longmont, so that's really, really great. I would say the food is heavily based on American seafood and Colorado produce. Yeah.
So there's two different deals. The 10-course deal is $125.
Correct.
And no substitutions, I would think.
We accommodate any dietary restrictions. We do reservations through Talk and Open Table, and we always ask that people put in a lot of notes, like pescatarian, vegetarian, vegan. I don't care. I'll create a menu for anyone, and like any dietary restrictions we can accommodate to.
I would feel, I don't know, personally, like I wouldn't mess with what you're doing there. If I committed to your 10 courses, I don't think I want to mess with your, because it's like a movie, and you're missing parts of it and you're changing it. And then you also have a 13 course for
$175. Okay. $175, yeah. So we add on a couple supplements, so you'll get truffles with that. You'll get typically some foie gras, some of the nicer, more elegant stuff, and a little more intimate. It's you sit at the chef's counter and you actually hang out with the kitchen.
Okay, so if you do the 13, it has to be the chef's counter?
Yes. If someone wants to do it at a table, we'll always accommodate. But.
And then I don't think you have a full bar, but I definitely had some wine and some sake.
So we're still working on our beverage program a little bit. Denver's a little behind on permitting on certain things, so we're kind of waiting on that. But we're rolling out a full NA cocktail menu this week, which I'm very excited about because I always want to be able to offer a non-alcoholic menu for Denver. That's such a big thing now, and I think just as well as food, we can put as much detail into the drinks through that.
And it's a tiny place, and even though you're thinking 10 courses, $125, you're thinking fancy. I don't find it fancy. It was comfortable. The music was unbelievable. I don't know who your DJ is, but it was eclectic, yet it fit. And I think it's just 24 seats, right?
Yeah.
What are your hours?
So we're open Thursday through Monday. Do first reservations at 5 o'clock and then last seating at 9 o'clock. Pretty staggered throughout the night, so we have open availability throughout the night, yeah.
So you brought 4 of 10 courses. Are these
Yes.
currently, so if they came, what's the day?
Yeah, so
Tuesday?
these will be pretty close to what's on the menu right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's start talking about what
So
you
we'll
brought
start
me
over
for
here.
lunch.
We have our a chicory salad. So we have some Castle Franco chicory with a little
Slow down. What kind of chicory?
Castle Franco.
I don't know what that means.
So Castle Franco is the variety of the chicory. It's just the pink speckled like yellow. It's a little less bitter. So one big thing on chicories is when they have more green, that means there's more chlorophyll. That means they're going to be more bitter. So if you're looking at the frisee, that's why you cut off the green part on there. Castle Franco chicory, a lot of them are grown with covers on them, or like they'll bundle them up and tie them up so you have blanched the middle of them so it doesn't get as much sunlight, so it doesn't turn as green, so you have a less bitter chicory.
And this
More
is a
quality.
Colorado product.
Yes, this one is.
Neat.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we have some sunflower milk green goddess. I don't typically use a lot of dairy in the cooking. I find with 10 or 13 courses that you don't want to fill people up with dairy. You don't want to fill them up with gluten. So we try to stay away from those two things. And then
Yeah.
also with, the amount of dietary restrictions, like I just find it more accommodating that way. So we found a way to like utilize a lot of nut milks in different ways. So sunflower seed milk we use as our yogurt essentially, and the green goddess with a bunch of different herbs in there, some tarragon, dill, parsley, chives. Yeah, and then some aged Parmesan, some toasted sunflower seeds, and pickled cucamelons.
That's just 1 of 10 courses. You're starting to get what's going on here, right? This is not going to Chili's.
And then this one over here, we have our braised oxtail. So this one's actually a really fun one. We were working with what we call petite oxtails. This is actually the top of the oxtail, the part that wags on the cow. So a lot of people don't use those. They use the base of the oxtail where it's very thick. So I've worked with a couple of purveyors that aren't able to sell them to many people, and like honestly, a lot of people just throw them away. But I find them to have way more marrow in them. The meat's so delicious and everything. So we just braise them, pick that, and then essentially we're making a kind of a poutine-ish style. So there's some crispy sweet potatoes, crispy yams on the bottom, some braised oxtail, a fennel pollen togarashi, and a QP mayo that we make in house. That one's pretty good. Everyone's been loving that.
I did have oxtail when I visited you last time, and you poured it out like this broth over
Yeah.
the table side. That was sick. And then when obviously they bring you food one at a time, but somebody from the kitchen brings out your food and describes it to you, which I really liked. I thought it was really neat.
We find it like pretty great to have the cooks running food and have a limited front of the house service. Cooks are always going to know what's in the food. They're always going to understand like what it takes to put out the dish. They're always going to understand like the components of the variables of each component, so they can explain that to the dish, and so they can explain that to the guests. But there's also so much more heart that goes into it, I believe.
Yeah.
I do feel very lucky to also have a great front of the house staff, but we give them the time to focus on the like beverage side of things, the actual like service side of things, so then they don't have to remember as much about food. But we definitely do touch on all food with everyone.
Okay. What's this guy?
So this is our sashimi course. We have some mackerel, Boston line caught mackerel. This is a fun one. So mackerel is also known as saba. I feel like not a lot of people utilize it as much as they should. This is often a bait fish. So they use the mackerel to catch bigger fish like halibut and whatnot. But we serve this one raw. We brine it for like 5 minutes on a little rice wine vinegar, just to get a little bit of the oils out of there, and then I torch the skin to make it a little more edible and palatable. There's some crispy garlic, and then heirloom tomato ponzu, which the tomato ponzu, it's essentially just preserved tomatoes. Again, in Colorado with like micro seasons, a lot of crazy climate things happening here. We have crazy hailstorms in the middle of summer, and then you have a lot of unedible product or unsellable products. So the farmers I work with, they're like, "Help!" I say, "Of course, like give me those. I will use those. I don't care if people won't buy them. They're a little damaged, but I can still ferment them and preserve them and turn them into a little juice wort. So we can still get a full yield out of them." And then this is a dish that we actually start everyone out with. So caviar. It's a golden Kaluga caviar with some sunchoke chips and sunchoke cream. Little smoked and pickled green garlic with ramp powder. just kind of like our chips and dip. So we'll take a lot of elegant ingredients and kind of make them a little more approachable without making them too cheesy.
All right, what should I have for lunch? Wait, which one are you thinking? Oxtail? I don't know. I had some. I don't know. I'll try everything.
You gotta try everything.
But this is what's intriguing me right now. What's your website?
So eatcoconeydenver.com. Our current Instagram is coconeydenver. There we had an old one that is still active.
Somebody lost their password or something?
Yeah.
It happens. It does happen.
Yeah.
Do we forget anything?
I don't think so. Yeah, I mean, well, we're rolling out our NA beverage program this week. Very, very excited about that. We are hoping to push forward to a little pre-fee menu availability for like Thursdays and Mondays as well. Drop it down to 3 courses at around $90 or $85. A little bigger portions. Just trying to hit a little more of the Denver market. But I mean, honestly, I've been really appreciative and like a little surprised at like the feedback and the not the feedback, but the outcome we're getting of it, like how many people actually really are ready for this type of food, and it makes me very excited because being in Denver so long, like I remember first moving here, it was a very steak and potato city, which I there's a place for in all climates and environments, but I think it's very beautiful to see Denver move so far and like be ready for this type of thing and receive it so well. So
yeah. If you're looking for a special evening, like not a grab a bite to eat place, for an experience, a dining experience that you really won't forget for a long time. Like I can remember pretty much everything I've eaten both times there. Go check out Koko down in Rhino. We'll be back for another episode of What's for Lunch. We're gonna have a food truck here tomorrow, so
nice.
we go all over the board here with different types of cuisines. I'm gonna have mackerel, right, Saba?
Yeah.
Let's eat. Holy shit.
Oh yeah.
Dude, you were holding out on me. I didn't get this when I came to see you. I gotta try this too. While I'm eating. I mean, the chicory.
You gotta make sure you get a little dressing on the bottom there.
Okay. Oh, there it is. You guys still filming?
And then if you guys haven't tried caviar, you always have.
That dressing is amazing.
Like yeah.